Hello everyone, you're welcome to solve this nice algebra problem, which is x times x times x minus x times x. This is equal to 100. So what are the values of x? Now let's provide a solution from here. X times x, this is x to the power of 3. Subtract x times x, this is x to the power of 2. This is equal to 100. So this is x to the power of 3 minus x to the power of 2. This is equal to 100, which we can express as 125 minus 25. So let's take 125 minus 25 on the left hand side, so that we have x to the power of 3 minus x to the power of 2. Subtract 125 plus 25. This is equal to 0. Now we have x to the power of 3 minus x to the power of 2 minus 125, which we can express as 5 to the power of 3, then plus 25, which is 5 to the power of 2. This is equal to 0. Now we have x to the power of 3 minus 5 to the power of 3. So this is x to the power of 3 minus 5 to the power of 3 minus x to the power of 2. We have 5 to the power of 2, so plus 5 to the power of 2. This is equal to 0. So this is x to the power of 3 minus 5 to the power of 3. Subtract. Now we can express x to the power of 2 plus 5 to the power of 2 as x to the power of 2 minus 5 to the power of 2. Cross the parentheses. This is equal to 0. Now we have got two parts here. The first part is the difference of two cubes expressed as a to the power of 3 minus b to the power of 3. And the second part here, this is the difference of two perfect squares expressed as a to the power of 2 minus b to the power of 2. This to mean that a to the power of 3 minus b to the power of 3, this is the same thing as a minus b. Into the parentheses, this is a to the power of 2 plus a times b, then plus b to the power of 2. So this is to mean that x to the power of 3 minus 5 to the power of 3, this can be expressed as x minus 5. Into the parentheses, this is x to the power of 2 plus 5x, then plus 5 squared, which is equal to 25. Now let's call this as part 1. Then we have the second part here. This is the difference of two perfect squares expressed as a plus b multiplying by a subtract b. So this means that we have x to the power of 2 subtract 5 to the power of 2. This is the same thing as x plus 5 multiplying by x subtract 5. Now let's call this as the second part, so that we can combine first part and the second part. Now let's combine the first part and the second part. So this means we have x minus 5. Into the parentheses, this is x squared plus 5x plus 25. Subtract x plus 5 multiplying by x subtract 5, and this is equal to 0. So you can see clearly that we have x minus 5 is common here, so we can factor out x subtract 5, so that now here we have x squared plus 5x plus 25 minus, this is minus times x, this is minus x, then we have minus times plus 5, this becomes minus 5, cross the parentheses, this is equal to 0. So this is x subtract 5, and here we have x to the power of 2, then plus, this is 5x minus x, so this is plus 4x, then plus 25 minus 5, this is plus 20, cross the parentheses, this is equal to 0. Now we have got two parts here. We have x subtract 5, this is equal to 0. Then we have x to the power of 2 plus 4x plus 20, this is equal to 0. Now from the first part here, we have x1 is equal to 5. This is a real solution here. The second part is a quadratic equation where we have a is equal to 1, b is equal to 4, and we have c is equal to 20. So we can solve for x2, x3 by applying the quadratic formula here, which is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, everything here divided by 2 times a. So let's substitute the values of a, b, and c into this formula here, so that now here we have minus b, which is 4, so we have minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, then times c, which is equal to 20, then divided by 2 times a, which is 1. So this implies that we have negative 4 plus or minus, we have the square root of, now this is 4 squared and this is equal to 16, subtract 4 times 20 and this is equal to 80, then divided by 2. So this means we have negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 80, and this is equal to negative 64 divided by 2. So here we have negative 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 64, which we can express as the square root of 64 multiplied by negative 1, everything here divided by 2. So therefore we have negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 64, this is 8. Then we have that the square root of negative 1, this is equal to I. So this is the same thing as 8i divided by 2. In the numerator we have that 2 is common here. We can factor out 2 so that minus 4 divided by 2, this is negative 2 plus or minus 8i divided by 2, this is 4i, cross the parentheses, everything here divided by 2. So we can simplify 2 and 2 here so that we have x2, x3, this is equal to negative 2 plus or minus 4i. So this is to imply that x2 is equal to negative 2 plus 4i, and x3 is equal to negative 2 subtract 4i. Now these are two complex solutions. These are two complex solutions for this algebra problem. We only have one real solution here, which is equal to 5. We have the real solution here, which is equal to 5. So let's check if this real solution here satisfies the equation. Now, if you recall, we end at x times x multiplied by x, subtract x multiplied by x. This is supposed to give us a value of 100. Substituting x, which is 5, this means we have 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5, subtract 5 multiplied by 5. This is supposed to give us a value of 100. So 5 times 5 times 5, this is 125. Subtract 5 times 5, which is 25. This is supposed to give us a value of 100. So 125 minus 25, this is equal to 100, and this is equal to 100. So the left add side is equal to the right add side. And this proves that the real solution here, which is 5, satisfies the equation. So we have two complex solutions and only one real solution for this algebra problem. So kindly follow the steps, like this video, and kindly subscribe. See you in the next video.